The results of the Battle River Crowfoot by-election are in, and the people voted overwhelmingly in support of sending Pierre Poilievre back to the House of Commons. This despite having some pretty good options to choose from, like independent candidate Bonnie Critchley, who got 9.9% of the vote, compared to Pierre Poilievre's 80.4%. And the Liberals are trailing behind that with 4.3%, and the legacy media is not happy about this one bit. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Johnny Says So, and today I'd like to share my thoughts about Pierre Poilievre winning the by-election in Battle River Crowfoot. Now, I really do feel that when Mark Carney duped Canadians with his elbows up nonsense, that was two really big steps backwards for the entire country. But last night's victory for Pierre Poilievre was one small step forward. But we're not out of the woods yet, because as we all know, the House of Commons is not sitting until September 15th while the government is on summer vacation. Must be nice, right? Well, when the House does sit again, I have a feeling Pierre Poilievre is going to have no shortage of ammunition to bring to question period. Like this. Since Carney became Prime Minister, an astonishing $63 billion of investment has fled the country. That means poor wages, more poverty, and greater dependency on the U.S. Just exactly how Mark Carney likes it, guys, because as we all know, he is heavily invested in American companies. But don't expect to hear any of that from the legacy media in this country, because as we all know, they're way too busy running cover for Mark Carney and the Liberal Party. But I have to admit, it was really satisfying to watch just how defeated these people were when they reported on Pierre Poilievre's victory. Let's take a look.
CBC projecting Pierre Poilievre will become the new member of parliament for Battle River Crowfoot. The Conservative leader has 80.4% of the vote, with one poll left to report. There was the celebratory mood captured in Camrose, Alberta late last night. Poilievre's landslide means he will return to the House of Commons this fall as official opposition leader. He's been sidelined from parliamentary business since he lost his Carleton seat in the Ottawa area.
His Carleton, Canada seat, because don't forget, they gerrymandered two ridings together in 2021.
Back in the April federal election, the MP at the time for Battle River Crowfoot stepped aside and allowed Poilievre to run there. And as a result of last night's result, he will be heading back to Ottawa. Rafi Boudjikanian, one of our parliamentary reporters, and he's in our bureau in Ottawa.
I love this, guys. This is my favorite. Look at his face. He is truly not happy about this.
This morning. As you look at the scenes and listen to Poilievre's victory speech, Rafi, how was he feeling about the win last night?
Heather, in a word, good. An 80% margin of victory allows him to get back into the House of Commons with wind in his sails. Now, he was showing some humility in his speech as well, and there could be a couple of reasons for that. As you mentioned, he had to displace one of his own MPs to run in Alberta across the country from the Ottawa region he's represented for 2 decades. His opponents had accused him of parachuting in with no intention of...
Okay, so as much as they like to say that Damien Carrick was cast aside by Pierre Poilievre, that's not what happened at all. Damien volunteered his spot so that Pierre Poilievre could continue to be the opposition leader, and he even gave up his pension to do so. Now, as for this narrative of parachuting, you're going to hear this one a lot in the coming weeks, which is kind of hilarious coming from these people, because... remember, guys, how Mark Carney got his seat? Remember this one? Liberals revoke Chandra Arya's nomination after removing him from leadership race. Now, this guy was really done dirty by the Liberal Party. They came up with some dirt on him so that Mark Carney could magically run in the Nepean riding. Absolutely ridiculous, and this really is the pot calling the kettle black. Anyway, let's get back into it.
Really representing Albertans once he got that seat he was fighting for. So his message seemed designed to push back against that.
Some might have thought it was a burden for me to come right off the campaign trail in a national campaign and go straight to knocking on doors, to traveling throughout a region of 56,000 square kilometers. But I'll tell you something, it was not a burden at all. This has been a privilege. Getting to know the people in this region has been the privilege of my life.
And as if to reinforce all of that, next to him in some of those images was Damien Carrick, the MP who stepped down so he could run. Now, so far, there hasn't been a whole lot of reaction to his victory, other than, of course, from Pierre Poilievre's rank and file, looking forward to welcoming him back into Parliament in September.
What does this mean for the leadership review, Rafi, that Poilievre is set to face early next year?
Well, an 80% margin of victory is fairly standard for how conservatives tend to do in Battle River Crowfoot, one of the most conservative ridings in this country. So it's not so much about giving him ammunition as removing it from any would-be opponents. Now they can't show up in January and say, hey, you could not even do as well as your predecessors. And of course, Poilievre now has a few months to build on that. When he gets back into the House of Commons, he'll be able to go to question period and grill Liberal Prime Minister Mark Carney. You'll recall how effective he was in doing that with Carney's predecessor, Justin Trudeau. You know, those critiques of the government that would then get packaged into social media clips and pushed to all of his followers. They were part of how he was able to build his polling numbers so high up before the election, before Trudeau resigned. And
don't forget, guys, this was a big reason why the Liberal Party prorogued Parliament for as long as they did, so that they could have time to install Mark Carney without any sort of opposition. They didn't want those clips to go viral. Could you imagine how differently the election would have went if we actually had people holding Mark Carney to account in the House of Commons? I can imagine it would have went a lot differently, but let me know what you think down in the comments.
We got a sense of how Poilievre might go about doing that in some segments of his speech last night where he attacked the Liberals.
Now, they promised recently that things would be different, but under Mr. Carney and his 157 days in office, they've only gotten worse. There have been many announcements and meetings, many photo ops, and a lot of jazz, but not a lot of results. He sent everyone home for a summer vacation. He sent them home even though the deficit is spiraling out of control. Inflation is up, elbows are down.
Opinion figures have shown Poilievre to be behind Carney for a while now, but it also was the summer when a lot of Canadians don't pay that much attention to politics, and Poilievre did not have that spotlight on him. Now he'll be able to use it to try to flip that around, Heather.
Thank you, Rafi.
Now this one from CTV News is really funny. Poilievre will have to, quote, soften the edges and act prime ministerial as he returns to Ottawa. Experts. So every time you see a news article that says, according to the experts, you can take that with a grain of salt. Now, this mirrors exactly what they were saying about Donald Trump in the United States. He needs to act more presidential. They're doing this on purpose, guys. They are making this comparison of Pierre Poilievre to Donald Trump. It's another one of their dirty tricks. Now, they're not only going after Pierre Poilievre himself, but they're attacking him with everything they have, even going after his wife. Look at this, guys. Mark Marison says, I wonder if the comms staff saw this before it went out. Now, he is retweeting something from Pierre Poilievre's wife, where she says, we're back. Now, what's the problem with this? Someone asks. What on the earth is the matter with it? He says the tone. Read it again. So let's check out the tone of this post. Politics is up and down. People do it because they believe in something. It is built by people with strong conviction and fire in their belly, willing to sacrifice to fight for what they believe is right. It's not for everyone. It's not easy, but it's worth it. It has its ugly sides and its beautiful ones. Holding people in my arms at rallies, giving them hope, is one of the most beautiful connections I've ever felt, aside from the connection with my children and family. It also has its ugly side. Friendships come and go as if dictated by the polls. Just like weather, people come and go. So remember, family is everything, and fighting for hope is still worth it all. We are the Poilievres, and we are built on resilience, courage, and love for you all. We're back. XO. So I want to know what you guys think down in the comments. What is wrong with the tone of this post exactly? She's really just writing a nice message for her supporters and sharing pictures of her family. I don't get it, but let me know what you guys think. So all in all, I'm glad to see that Pierre Poilievre got his seat back. And he hasn't been perfect lately. Far from it. But unfortunately, it's the best opposition we have to Mark Carney. So I'm really looking forward to see what September brings. But that's it for my show tonight, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And as always, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Johnny from Nova Scotia says thank you. Hey, Johnny from Nouvelle-Écosse, il dit merci, thank you.
Thanks to you. God bless you.
Perfect.
We're from Quebec.
Yeah, Quebec.